This is Alstair Macauley, chief dance critic of the New York Times, talking about Merce Cunningham, the choreographer who died aged 90 on July 26, 2009. Born in Centralia, Washington, came to New York aged 20 in 1939 and remained in New York for the remainder of his life, working as a dancer and as a choreographer, making a radical style that combined elements from ballet, modern dance, and other dance styles. What we're going to do here is to look at one solo from a work that he choreographed aged 80, BIPED, in 1999. The dancer is Banu Ogun. Banu Ogun comes pacing onto the stage, pauses and at once bends sideways. Here we have a key characteristic of Cunningham's style. The torso is unusually articulate, bending sideways, forwards or backwards, here sideways. What this passage of the solo shows is the turnout of the legs, which is something that Cunningham got from ballet. Also, the rich use of the foot. You can divide choreographers into those who don't make much use of the instep and those who do. Cunningham certainly was one of those who loved full use of the instep. He asked dancers not to be exclusively turned out, as tends to happen in ballet. He liked them to be able to have their legs facing forwards, or parallel, as he would say, not 180 degrees out, as in ballet, but mainly outwards. Here, Banu Ogun pauses on tiptoe, one leg in front of another, in what ballet people call fourth position, and it's a momentary balance. It's a favorite position that characterizes so much Merce Cunningham choreography. Here, Merce Cunningham's asking Banu Ogun to do 2 or 3 things with her body at once. He'd ask dancers to learn the leg movements one day, the next day he'd teach them the torso movements, and the day after that he'd teach them the arm movements. Combining these things took very virtuoso coordination. This, like the whole solo, shows constant changes of rhythm, and there's no regular pulse, and that change of rhythm, again, is central to Cunningham. Cunningham liked to quote Einstein, saying, "There are no fixed points in space." He'd tell dancers, wherever you are facing is front. In this solo, you can see Banu Ogun facing down a diagonal, facing down the opposite diagonal, facing forwards to the audience, and later facing sideways. The decor for BIPED is made by the artists Paul Kaiser and Shelley Eshkar, based on motion capture pictures, film of Cunningham dancers doing phrases that Cunningham had choreographed on his dance computer. He began to choreograph this way in 1989, so he'd been at it 10 years when he made BIPED. This is the only work, though, in which that becomes part of the decor, floating on a gauze in front of the choreography, sometimes floating and rotating off into space, even decomposing. Cunningham, himself a great dancer, loved to say, "For me it is enough that dance is an adventure for the spirit in time and space." And that adventure happens primarily in dancing alone. Cunningham choreography is full of solos. He was a great soloist. He taught all his dancers to be soloists, to be alone even when they were in company, even doing an ensemble with 5 or 10 other people. You are alone and detached and independent, as well as part of a larger network.